Welcome to the NBA preview show for this weekend. I'm Joe Duffy of OffshoreInsiders.com along with Troy West of TroyWins.com. We're going to preview the weekend NBA action. Yeah, I know for a lot of you, your minds are a little bit more on the conference tournaments, but March is a great time to win in the NBA, especially because of some overreaction, and I've got some situations I'll talk about a little bit later on in this report. And before I do get to Troy, I do want to remind you, if you're not already subscribed to SportsBook Review's YouTube page, make sure you do that right now. Click on the subscribe button. And of course, if you like this information, please literally click like. If you've got any questions or comments, we'll be more than happy to respond. So please leave any comments or questions you have right in that comment and questions section below. Well, we'll start it out by taking a look at the Friday NBA portfolio. Troy, what are you looking at?
Yeah, Joe, a big card tonight in the NBA, and I've like several games that I'd like to touch on. The first one, the marquee game of the night. I was wrong Wednesday saying I thought maybe Houston would sputter a little bit. Tonight, boy, there is a ton of public money, and I'm seeing lots of people on blogs absolutely love Houston -2 at Toronto. You know, Toronto's a good basketball team, but talent for talent, I do think Houston's got this team beat by a long shot. And I'm going to roll with Houston. It may be the suckers play, and maybe tomorrow I've got sucker written on my forehead, but Houston -2. They're on the 17-game winning streak. They're playing outstanding basketball. They don't seem to be slowing down at all, and I think this is going to be one of those marquee games that I think Houston takes care of business. And I also saw a stat out there that this could be the last game that they're in. Vegas had them possibly be an underdog tonight, but the rest of the way in their regular season, they are statistically supposed to be favored in every single game. So I like Houston tonight. Another game that looks really interesting, Joe, and I know Steph Curry's not playing, but Golden State seems to play just fine without Steph Curry, and they're -2 at Portland. Portland's been a great home team, but they've sputtered up quite a bit. I know they are in the playoff hunt, and they're going to be in the top 5, but they are playing for seeding as well. But anytime you get Golden State around a pick'em game, I think they're going to be a good bet. So that's another one. And then lastly, I like the over in the Denver Lakers game. Two teams that we've talked about that don't play a lot of defense, like to score a lot of points. Denver, for whatever reason, in that arena, boy, the points seem to come at a premium. So I like the over in that game. So, you know, two potential sucker plays, Joe, but I like Houston, who has just been playing outstanding. Golden State, still a very good basketball team. They won without Curry last night. I think they win again tonight. And then I like the over in the Denver Lakers game.
Well, Troy, certainly as the viewers know, I'm a big system player, and I found that in the NBA, in reality, road favorites are generally pretty good plays, the complete opposite of the NFL, where road favorites are often the big sucker play. But yeah, the road favorites definitely do quite well in the NBA. Some situations that I'm looking at tonight, the Warriors and the Trailblazers. I know Troy touched on that game, but Portland does have the 2 extra days rest. Knicks and the Bucks. The Knicks are playing, I think a road trip I identify from a handicapping standpoint when a team's playing at least their 4th straight road game, and that is the case here with the Knicks. The Cavaliers and the Clippers, remember my old regression to the mean. It's an angle that works in every single sport. When a team has a -5 or worse differential, and that's based on how they've done against the spread. Again, as I keep saying on every single one of these videos, it's kind of like the points per game margin. It's just relative to the point spread. Cleveland's been a bad team this year against the spread. They've got a -5 margin difference, but that means they're actually a good play statistically at 16.51 and 14.44. So that applies over a bunch of games. Wizards and the Pelicans. Similar thing here, regression to the mean. Teams with a combined over margin for the year of 5 or greater. In other words, generally over teams are actually a pretty solid under bet. Not great to blindly play the system, but they are a pretty good under bet. The Jazz and the Grizzlies, the presumed tanking, as I said on every report, because the 76ers kind of made at least tanking perceived to be a good thing. I've taken a look at the last 2 years when you have a team with a winning percentage of .310 or less versus an opponent with a winning percentage of .390 or above, 222 and 150 for the inferior team, the team that we're presuming is tanking, and that would benefit Memphis. But again, as I said, whether it's real or whether it's perception, I've measured, and that's why I think the last 2 years are much more important, where in any other system, I like to look at the entire history of my database, but I think the handicapping dynamics has really changed in the last 2 years as far as that's concerned. I got some Saturday stuff, but first, Troy West, what do you got Saturday?
Yeah, just 2 games Saturday. You know, OKC's been in somewhat of a tailspin as of late. They are at home against the Spurs. I kind of feel like this is a get-right game. OKC's really got to turn this thing on, or they could potentially miss the playoffs. I like the Thunder to get it done at home. They always seem to get up for these type of games, and they are at home against a Spurs team that's really been struggling as of late. We know they lost last night to Golden State, kind of in a hard-fought game, and now they got to come back and battle in OKC. So I like the Thunder in that one. And then you got the Hornets and the Suns. Suns are always a good bet on the road to tail the Suns. I like the Hornets in this one. I'm sorry, I like to fade the Suns on the road is what I meant to say. I like the Hornets at home. It's a tough travel for Phoenix, and Phoenix just being this young team, they seem to struggle on the road. I think that line's going to be anywhere between 7 to 10, but I think the Hornets get a nice win by 15. So those are the 2 games that I like on Saturday, Joe.
My presumed tanking angle would benefit the Atlanta Hawks against the Indiana Pacers on Saturday, as well as Phoenix versus the Hornets. But keep in mind, Phoenix will be playing at least their 4th straight road game, the Grizzlies and the Mavericks. Mavericks are rested, first an opponent playing back-to-back in 3 games in 4 nights. They will also have 2 extra days rest. And the Magic and the Clippers, the Magic will be playing their 4th straight road game. Well, as we continue, Troy and I continue to show you, you can win during March, not just in college basketball, in the NBA as well. Troy, what do you got on Sunday?
Yeah, just 1 game Sunday, Joe, and it's the big marquee Sunday night ESPN game. I like the Cleveland Cavaliers going into Los Angeles. Yes, Cleveland will be on the long part of their road trip. They did just get a huge win against Denver the other night, and LeBron James looked absolutely fantastic. Cleveland still shows that, you know, when they want to turn it on to another level, they can. And I think on Sunday night, I kind of get that gut feeling that LeBron James, there's been so much talk of him going to LA next year. I think he's going to want to go in there and put on a show with his veteran team that he's got. And I think they're going to go beat down on the rookies of the Los Angeles Lakers. They've been playing great ball. I'm not taking anything away from the Lakers. I just think it's one of those games where Cleveland steps it up an extra notch just for what's on the line. And I like the Cavaliers Sunday night to take care of the Lakers. I expect the Cavs to be favored anywhere between 3 and 5 points. I'll take the Cavs to cover that.
I got a couple situations I'm looking at on Sunday, the Cavaliers and the Lakers, as Troy mentioned. Again, Cleveland, the inferior team this year spread-wise based on that so-called sweat barometer or ATS margin. So the Cavaliers fit into that system that I told you about earlier, that's 16.51 and 14.44 against the spread. The Kings and the Nuggets, the Kings would fit into the presumed tanking where you would actually go with the Kings, as I explained earlier in this report. The theory behind that, Rockets and the Mavericks. The Mavericks would benefit from that presumed tanking angle. Houston is playing their 4th straight road game. The Sixers and the Nets, well, the Sixers are at the other end of this. Brooklyn would benefit from the presumed tanking. As I said, the 76ers, I think, are the team responsible for making the tanking chic, Tankapalooza, some people like to call it, over the last 2 years, but they'll be on the other end of this. That angle would benefit the Nets and the Jazz and the Pelicans. Again, both of these teams have been over. They combined for an over margin of better than 5 this year, which makes it a solid under bet. So, yeah, the perception says over, but the results historically say it will be a pretty good under bet. And Troy and I are going to be back Monday. We'll take a look at the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even the Thursday portfolio. But Troy, why don't you tell them what they can get at TroyWins.com?
Yeah, thanks, Joe. We're wrapping up the conference tournaments here. Extremely excited for Selection Sunday. I'll actually be in Vegas for the next couple of weeks betting on the March Madness 1st and 2nd round, so very excited. Come take a look at what we're doing on our website. I truly believe there's a lot of money to be made going into March Madness, and I think we can take care of you. So come take a look. We're happy to give you a free trial. That's TroyWins.com.
Like I said, there's some spectacular analysts led by Donnie Wrightside, and, of course, the big man on campus as far as the NCAA tournament's concerned. But remember, I like to take a look at it from more of a situational, analytical standpoint, system similar to what I gave you here, who's overrated, underrated, etc. So make sure you join me not only for the NBA, which we talked about, but most definitely the NCAA tournament. And I've got plenty of great systems for Major League Baseball, which is just around the corner. Like I said, if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review, the Sportsbook Review YouTube page, and you'll get all the videos. And feel free to comment, and we'll join you again with another show on Monday.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.